That's it. Only 1 minute. Conclude. 9:33 we started, na? 7 minutes. Nobody completed more than one page. That is the challenge with respect to UPSC. This you have to understand first. Either you will waste time, okay, rather than me stopping, interrupting you, please conclude the answer in 1 minute. Please conclude the answer in 1 minute. Right. Yeah, please stop writing. So half of you, or not half of you, I expected at least half of you will write half of the answer, but 1 or 2 paragraphs at the max. Majority of the time you are thinking what to write. So you may just say, sir, we didn't study this topic. It's not like that. In UPSC, applied things will come. You have to know about disaster. Forget about subject. In India, you know that there are cyclones, there are floods, there are droughts. Just you have to link how space technologies are useful for properly managing that disasters. Can we avoid disasters? Natural hazards are there. Anyway, they will come. Disasters means if we are able to face that natural hazards in a proper way, losses can be minimized. When a cyclone used to come before, it used to create havoc. Now we are able to know that cyclone is going to come. So if it is going to hit the land with very high speed and with very high pressure differences, we are able to move 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs people also in a matter of 1 or 2 days. This has been possible because of what? Satellite technologies. Knowing the things in advance. Okay, so this has enabled us to, in order to properly, not only with respect to, please check your audio, only one student is saying. Am I audible? Am I audible? Yes. Thank you. Right. Now, yeah, coming back to this disaster management. So just I'm giving an example of cyclone. Like that, we can mitigate with respect to floods, flash floods in urban areas. Okay, what needs to be done, not only when the disaster strikes, but how to plan for disaster management in advance. All these things, just commonsensical applications. Directly, things will not be asked as questions. Only applied areas will be asked. We will see like this 5 or 6 questions. We will write 5 or 6 questions in the class. Now we will start. Before that, before doing those answers, we will start, we'll conclude, maybe for half an hour, we will conclude some of the topics. In the evening, classes will happen mainly in with respect to prelims orientation. Listen to that videos. If you want to come, you can come, but listen to those videos so that we can, in the mornings, we can cover as much topics as possible. Anyway, I will share these slides with your admin. You can refer it later on. Okay. So for you, both morning and evening, you can listen, whether offline or online. Right. So mainly in the morning will be more, because as you all know some basics, it's better we will do high standard questions. Okay. After covering some basics, but listen to the evening classes also, at least online. Okay. So coming back to the Gaganyaan, why we are not doing Gaganyaan? Yesterday we saw these things. Yes or no? With respect to Gaganyaan, 3 stages we have told. What is the importance of Gaganyaan? Just briefly only we have seen. Now we'll just take a quick review of it. We are going to point number 1. Importance of Gaganyaan is we are going to make sustainable or affordable human space missions. Not only with respect to exploration of solar system, but in the future beyond also. Sir, how can we go beyond? Because distances in the universe are in light years. Have you heard of the term light year? Yes or no? Distance traveled by light in 1 year. There is millions of kilometers distance between sun and earth, but light will take only 8 minutes. Okay. If sun suddenly disappears, imagine, if sun suddenly disappears, after how many minutes light will be disappearing? 8 minutes. What about gravity? What about gravity? If sun suddenly disappears, will we lose that gravity after 8 minutes or immediately? Yes, that is a misnomer. A recent development has been said that gravitation is also like a wave. Have you heard about gravitational waves in the news? So gravity is also a wave which travels with speed of light. That is a very recent discovery. So if sun suddenly disappears, light also, we will lose light after 8 minutes. Even gravity also we will lose after 8 minutes. Previously, that was not the case. We used to think that gravity is just a force. There is no interlink kind of thing. But another theory is coming which says that gravity is also waves. Einstein predicted it, which was proved very recently. Okay, so coming back to this concept of light years, when light is taking so much of time, light itself very fast, it is taking 8 minutes. So how can we expect to travel beyond solar system? Is it possible? It is possible if you use the nuclear fusion energy. There is a possibility. There is a recent experiment also. You might have heard about International Thermo Energy Nuclear Reactor Experiment, where they are able to make this fusion reaction for a few seconds. Okay. China is also doing its own developments. So when that becomes a possibility, barrier of energy or the speed with which that the reactions are taking place would be drastically improved. So there is a scope. So once you want to go beyond solar system to explore, see, humanity always wants to explore. Without that urge for exploration, this much of development might not be possible. Just 100 years back, if someone said that you can talk to a person who is thousands of kilometers away, he will be deemed as God. So just 100 years back. If someone is talking with something in the hand like this, hello, to a person who is thousands of kilometers away, that is unimaginable at that point of time. Today, it is a very common. Today, if someone is using mobile phone, will you call him Baba? No. Yes or no? Things are understandable. We know that it is possible. In the future also, it may be possible. New concepts are coming. Space is bending. Okay, relativity is still, things are explored. When we are looking at this place exploration missions, our intention to see this bending of space, location of black hole from one point to other point, straight line is only misnomer. Things can be traversed in different ways. Like that, all these developments will happen. So human space mission, especially Gaganyaan, always have this advantage for us. It will open the doors for further next missions in the world or outer space. Now, advanced technology capability. Second advantage is definitely a lot of technologies are being tested. Microgravity or growing plants, food processing, multiple advantages will be there if we conduct human space flight. Then third aspect, future capability. Does India has our own space station? Do we have our own space station? No. So this human space flight, like USA or Russia, first they did space flights, human space missions. Then only they were able to develop technology suitable for international space station. So Gaganyaan will also help us to build our own space station in the future. Is it required? Is future space station solely made by India required? Why not? When space tourism is developing, okay, when applications are being developing, we want to explore. See, they were able to find new bacteria, new materials. So it's all imagination for the time being, but lot of future scope. Okay, in this context. So that is also another global space station development. Scientific experiments also can be conducted in the space station. Then next, with respect to academic industry partnership, huge academic industry partnership or private sector can be inculcated in this. Rather than only ISRO doing it, lot of collaborations can be made. These collaborations will further impact development of other technologies. Yes or no? Like, I'll tell you an example. Kalam Raju's stunt is there. Previously, just 15 years back, India used to import lot of stunts. You know, stunts, bypass surgery. Before bypass surgery, they'll put this when the arteries got blocked. So we used to import these stunts. The material has to stay in the human body for, next gen, maybe 20 years, 30 years easily. So there is a need for special materials. We used to import that, costing 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh at that time itself. 15 years back, 1 lakh is a very huge amount. Yes, sir. Now, a kind of collaboration happened. The same thing, Abdul Kalam was the heart surgeries. The head of Care Hospital and Abdul Kalam were friends. One day they were discussing this issue. Many poor people are there. We have to import stunts from foreign, highly costly. So both sat together and discussed. Kalam worked in material sciences because with respect to defense, missiles and space, lot of materials you have to check for space exploration. Because the rockets or the launch vehicles are going in very high pressure conditions. New materials you have to study. Kalam has exposure to those things. Doctor has exposure to what are the properties required in the human body. Both sat together and they designed a stunt using the materials which they know. That stunt was cheaply produced for less than 20,000 rupees. 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh rupees stunt, imported stunt, they were able to produce for less than 20,000 rupees. Now there is a manufacturing unit based on Kalam Raju. Where is space? Where is heart? Yes or no? So spillover effects will be very high. In World War II, World War I, World War II created a lot of disaster, no doubt. But technology advanced in a very big manner after World War. The military technologies which were developed, GPS was World War II effect. Okay, whether it is submarines, the various ways in which we have developing science, there was a very big changes after World War II technology. So we don't know how the technology is used. So when multiple people are associated, multiple advantages we will have. So we have to look for these kind of challenging missions for creating the greater impact of science and technology. Already we have taken care of our basic needs. Yes or no? Communications and information communication technologies or remote sensing technology, that is already done. So next stage would be all these things. In fact, privatization of space is happening for this purpose only. If private people were able to launch vehicles, ISRO can focus mainly on R&D. Okay, that is the intention, rather than launching the same missiles or same satellites again and again. In fact, space launching program has helped our missile program also. Kalam initially was in ISRO. Later he was posted as DRDO. Same space, Prithvi missile, Agni missile, rocket launch. Yes or no? The space technologies has enabled defense technologies also. Both will go hand in hand. Okay, so like that we'll have multiple things in the future. In the future, it's things. It's not that we are predicting this to happen, but in the future, missiles may be launched from the space also. humanity. There is no end to human stupidity, right? But if one country does that, automatically others have to do for the sake of security. Yes or no? Already there is ASAT mission Shakti to destroy satellites. Countries are already developing technologies to not attack cities. That is anywhere there. To attack other countries' satellites. So if we have our own space station, it will become a protection for our national security also. Okay, so like that things are developing. Like different dimensions we have to interrelate. Okay. Then, of course, unique opportunity for Indian youth. People will be inspired. Have you heard about Cold War? Yes or no? Russia, USA, Cold War. One dimension of Cold War is technological development. It's a race to go to moon between Russia and US. Why? There is a pride in achieving the technological feat. India also had a pride. Unfortunately, Indians does not know about it because we are busy in our TikToks and TikToks. So we have, India is the country which has done these things in the first instant itself. No other country has done it. They have spent many failed missions are there for many countries. Okay. So we have our own advantages which we have to further develop. Okay, it will inspire these type of, see, we are not saying that we are in some race with other countries. No, that is not the intention of our space agencies or any agency. We are not competing with anyone. We want to create as much better ways of doing the science explorations or anything in as much better way as possible. Okay, so it will have benefits for our society only, whether it is creativity or innovation or human space flight program. It will be used as a foreign policy tool. Last point. Foreign policy tool in the sense we can help other countries to launch their own citizens as astronauts for development of their own science programs. Very few countries in the world have this technologies. Already we are launching satellites for other countries. Yes or no? NSIL, we will see today, privatization and all these things. There are companies being established who will launch satellites for other countries. That will act as a foreign policy tool. When India is aiming to become a permanent member of United Nations Security Council, this point can be written as enhancing its soft power. Yes or no? There is a term called hard power and soft power. Soft power, by this. There are many dimensions of soft power for India. Yoga, culture, all these things, acceptance, tolerance, trust on Indians. Wherever you go, people rely on Indians, mentality of Indians. Okay, so those are Bollywood itself is a soft power like that. Space also can become a foreign policy tool. We have launched SARC satellite. You know, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. SARC is there. 8 countries around India. Issue with Pakistan will always be there. So we can't stop the regional integration of the region in the name of Pakistan. Okay, so SARC has there. We have already launched SARC satellite to provide communication links to the SARC countries apart from Pakistan. Okay, so like that, space exploration also can become a very good foreign policy tool. So these are all the advantages of what? Mission Gagan or human space mission. So major new technologies developed under this these 5 are the major new technologies which are being developed. Try to write running notes. In spite, if I give slides also, you have to read anyway. So when the class is happening, please try to write. You will not remember. You may feel that you will remember just 1 or 2 keywords. You have to write. New technology. So this is the answer if you go back. Why we are unable to have human space flight till now? Because we don't have all these technologies. So major advancements for conducting Gaganyaan will be development of, there are other technologies also, no doubt. It's a very big mission. But major things we are writing. Human rated launch vehicle. That launch vehicle should carry human beings. It is not about carrying your electronic circuits. It has to carry human beings. Human being requires certain amount of pressure, temperature, conditions, habitable conditions. that box or that small room, it will not be room size also. It will be a small compartment. It should have all these things where human beings can survive. If oxygen is not there, for few minutes, can human beings survive? No. Simply technical side, mic off, sir. Will it happen with respect to oxygen or human temperature and pressure conditions? No. Okay, so human habitable launch vehicle, human rated launch vehicle technologies which we are developing. Then crew escape systems. If anything happens, have you heard about Kalpana Chawla? Yes or no? Her mission by NASA. She was working as an astronaut in NASA. They went to space. They conducted their experiments happily. When they were coming back, there was a small leak in the crew mission that launched whatever the vehicle is coming. I think that is Columbia, if I'm not wrong. Okay, the name of that spacecraft. When it is returning, that leak, after investigation, it was found out that that leak originated when the Columbia mission itself was launched. But they carried on the mission. When they came back, that leak became big and whole Columbia mission became as just dust particle in the space. So safety is utmost important. Yes, sir. So in that manner, we have to escape systems. If anything happens, emergency, they have to escape from the orbit itself. They have to come back safely. Okay. Then habitable orbital module, launch vehicle is there. Orbital module is there. Orbital module means while orbiting around the Earth. Separate safety, life support systems, and crew selection and training, which is also very important. Microgravity experimentation, we are taking help of other countries now, but in the future we have to make this on our own. So these are the 5 advancements which are happening in with respect to Gaganyaan mission. New technologies which we are focusing on Gaganyaan. Vom Mitra, humanoid robot, all these things are there before. We are just using it for Gaganyaan. Okay. Sure. Major collaborators, see, many people are involved with respect to Gaganyaan mission. It's not that only ISRO is doing it. Why COVID-19 vaccine was successful? Because Oxford did lot of collaborations with not only the research laboratories, with industry, with academia. Then only we were able to bring that vaccine in a very short span of time. Similarly, this Gaganyaan itself is a trial run for intensive collaboration between various organizations. Look at the institutions involved, armed forces. Why armed forces are involved? They provide the personnel, okay? People who are going as Vom Mitras or Vom nauts, astronauts into the space. DRDO is anyway there, material sciences and all those things. Maritime agencies, Navy, Coast Guard, Shipping Corporation of India, National Institute of Oceanography, Ocean Technology. See, the things which they are using, ISRO is using for Gaganyaan mission. Indian Meteorological Department, CSIR labs. You know CSIR labs? Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. Around 40 laboratories are there around the country who are working on different parameters. So, if a question comes, there is a syllabus, topic in your syllabus, which talks about indigenization of technologies and developments, recent developments. Till now, a question has not been asked in that dimension. What Indian laboratories are indigenously developing? Discuss the contribution of CSIR or discuss the recent innovations with respect to CSIR and highlights its importance for national development. This question has not been asked till now. Probable. Sometime or other they will ask. Space they have asked. Nuclear they have asked. Biotech they have asked. Left out thing is yes, important institute. Defense they have asked. CSIR is the only thing which is still there. They will ask in the future. So in that manner, we have to look anyway, academic institutions and industry. So these are things. Now comes somewhat prelims data, Astros Act. All these things I have already discussed in yesterday's class. Try to see that videos. Okay, I'll just put the slides for you. What is Astros Act, India's observatory, which is going to collect images in 3, not 1. In 3 spectrums, it is going to cover X-ray, optical, UV. we are going to have this astronomical observatory in the space itself, rather than observing the space from here. Anyway, from on ground stations also we are observing the space. We are launching this into the orbit so that clear pictures can be obtained. So to know the details of this, please look at those videos, scientific mission of astronaut. I'm just now quickly going ahead with that. Reforms in space sector, this we will do. Mains orientation. Why privatization of space is required? Okay, so put a question, critically analyze, put a question, write a question. It's all in thinking. These are all commonsensical things. Critically analyze the need for privatization in Indian space sector. Critically analyze the need for privatization in Indian space sector. Critically analyze the need for privatization in India. Take 2 minutes and put your thoughts. Why privatization is required? Till now we have not done. From last 2 years we are done. The term critical analysis means what? What is the difference between analyze, elaborate, critically analyze, discuss? Difference here. Critically analyze means you have to talk both positives, negatives, and way forward also. Okay, positives, negatives, and way forward. Yeah. Till now, we have not done, because I am making you, because yesterday, anyway, I have discussed this very briefly. Space sector privatization, we have not opened nuclear energy till now. Atomic energy, is it privatized in India? Can Ambani have his own nuclear power plant? Ambani Nuclear Corporation. Is it possible? No, not yet. Maybe in the future. Okay, so space in the sense we have not done, because space is a highly strategic thing. Privatization, we don't know the influences of other external organizations on Indian private companies. Need not be only terrorist organizations, it can be other nations also. For a private company, see, why we are, a kind of doubt is there on private sector, because private, whatever private organization, it want to create more efficiency. Why? Profit. Exactly. Profit becomes the main motive. In the name of profit, it's okay, nothing wrong in profit, but if profit becomes the only motive, sometimes conflicts may come. For example, there is a company called Apple, you know, yes or no? This Apple is portraying itself as a highly secure privacy thing with respect to its devices, iPhone and all those things. When I am coming to you and watching your answers, are you feeling inconvenient or not? Yes or no? Because you have habituated to it, do the preparation in your own things. Forget about status to checking our own preparation. Just go and write in the examination, examiner will check. Final result, in or out. Okay, so this threat is there. What if I criticize you? What you'll read good in a good manner if you are in a positive manner. Yes or no? Intention is to help you, not to insult you in front of others. Who are everybody? All are biomass. Yes or no? Once you get the rank, everybody will see you. Otherwise, there is no purpose, right? Yes or no? Of course. Anyway, that's a different thing. This Apple company, in the name of privacy, because privacy is given a utmost important in this modern life, fortunately or unfortunately. Now, a case has been committed. Murder has happened. A big crime has been committed in US. They want to know the persons. FBI got involved. The crime person, the so-called suspect, they want to know about the contacts or the way, about his phone, how with whom he talked. So he has a passcode. They asked FBI, government agency asked Apple to crack the security code and give it so that we can solve the case. Apple simply denied. We are going, it can crack. We are going with the market agenda that our phones are not crackable. It's very difficult to open our iPhones. Once we crack this, it will give a wrong signal to the customers. Sorry, FBI, we can't unlock the phone for you. That is the situation. Okay, somehow FBI used its own in-house technology experts. It took its own time and it was able to crack. But if Apple helped, they might have done it in 1 hour. So always private have conflict of interest, at least in some areas. Okay, so space being such an important technology, we always limit it. It's not that for the first time we are doing this privatization. Till now we are not doing because of these all apprehensions. But slowly we were engaging. There are many companies in Hyderabad, in Bengaluru, in Chennai even, who are working with ISRO to make different components for the space launch vehicles, even from the last few years. Okay, once we have opened, now we are doing reforms. Any person can launch satellite. Any company can launch satellite using ISRO facilities. Other countries also, not only countries, when Nepal government asked us to launch satellites, that's the government to government transaction. Imagine a Nepalese company asked us, Indian government ISRO, to launch their own private satellite. This is a different mode. Okay, so multiple things are required. That's the reason till now there were, but after opening up, many controls are there, many safeguards are there. By ensuring those safeguards, we are opening up the space sector. Main advantage is we want to bring a lot of scientific innovation into the space sector. We want to develop varieties of applications. When GPS was invented, it was only for military purpose. 24 satellites by USA, they want to see any region on this planet because USA assumes itself to be world dominant power. Okay, as the maker of everything in this world, it feels so. Yes or no? We are also behaving in the same manner. Everything American westernization is happening in its own way, whether with respect to technology, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. By the way, all three belong to one. Yes or no? All three belong to one. With respect to mobile phones or new technologies or anything, domination, technological domination is there of the USA. Military domination is there. Foreign policy domination is there. Energy domination is there. Technological domination is also there. Okay, so when we want to include, we want to grow as a big technological organization or a country in the future. That's the reason we want to give we want to intake lot of scientific innovations present in the private sector into the space sector program of the country. So when GPS was invented, it was not for this purpose. USA invented, we are developing. Without GPS, there is no Ola, there is no Swiggy, there is no shopping also, there is no tourism also. If not, no tourism, difficult, it would be difficult. From finding hotels to finding food to trade, commerce, everything is associated with the help of this geospatial information. Yes or no? In the same manner, once we open up, now the intention is, let's open up the technologies which we have already made. And we will outsource these technologies and create lot of benefits to the society. Various applications can be developed. That's the reason now there is a bigger push towards privatization of space, especially after SpaceX thing. Because NASA supported SpaceX initially. Now SpaceX was able to launch satellites cheaper than, so that gave a very big input in the whole world. Okay, so now ISRO can focus more on research. That would be another point while we are writing these things. How to control this privatization, how to regulate this privatization of the space sector. We have created a kind of two organizations mainly are there. In space is the agency. Anyway, we will see this. Just look at these points, add these things to what you have written, aiming at boosting private sector participation in an entire range of space activities. When I'm saying entire range of space activities, not only in satellite launching, we are also talking about even space station also in the future. Okay, all these things will be there. Indian industry to be an important player in global space economy. That is also a very important point. Socio-economic use of space activities, lot of data, lot of facilities, even lot of data management can also be done with respect to these reforms in space sector. ISRO can focus on human space flight and making new technologies. Then planetary explorations also private sector can participate. All this will create a better field for space exploration. Okay. So in order to enable it, we created these things in space. Write the full form, Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center. In space is the organization which will act like a regulator. Like you have TRI with respect to communication technologies, with respect to mobile phones, will be having in space for it. Okay, it will be regulator. With respect to private and ISRO, a level playing field will be set up by in space. Who can do what, how they can do, what they can do. All these things will be under control of all in space. So if a private organization is launching a satellite, what if it crash lands? Difficult, right? So in space will come into picture. Even safety and security will be part of in space. It will ensure that missions are safe. If any failure, it will fix the liability. Who is liable if some disaster happens with respect to space technologies? All this is the role of in space. Then another corporate company is there, NSIL. NSIL, New Space India Limited. This is a company, public sector enterprise. Just like a BHEL, public sector enterprise, they have created another company called New Space India Limited. Now, look at the activities of NSIL. With respect to major activities, production of PSLVs and SSLV. SSLV is a new development with respect to satellite launch vehicles in India. PSLV will take almost 60 days to assemble. Is it reusable? Is PSLV reusable? No. But SSLV, if you want to launch small applications, rather than waiting for whole PSLV, this is a kind of simplified version which can be assembled in just 3 days. Less than 500 kg satellites. Below, LEO, low Earth orbit, if you want to launch, a new small satellite launch vehicle has been developed recently by ISRO. Though NSIL will use this PSLV and SSLV, it will make others also produce this PSLV, others means private sectors, to produce these launch vehicles in the future. Or use the PSLV and SSLV of ISRO to launch the satellites for other companies or other nations. Small satellite launch vehicle is all 3 solid stage launch vehicle. All the 3 stages in SSLV are solid stage. liquid or cryogenic are used to enhance the distance and carrying capacity. Anyway, SSLV is used for small satellites, micro, nano satellites. So there is no point of using liquid or cryogenic stages in SSLV launch vehicle. Okay, so that is it. NSIL. In fact, NSIL played a major role with respect to development of this SSLV. Then production of space-based transponders also. These transponders we saw yesterday. Transponders have high utility in communication. Rather than ISRO producing them, it will make private players to produce it. Okay, a lot of burden will be reduced on ISRO. Communication technologies, building satellites. Even satellites also can be built as per user requirements. For agriculture, a special satellite. For education, a special satellite. For communication, a special satellite, like that. Okay. Transfer of technology. ISRO has a lot of technologies. These technologies they have developed from long time. These technologies they can give it to the people, to private companies. There is a concept called lab to land. Okay, many things are happening in research teams, but they are just sticking at laboratories. They are not coming out into the common domain because of lot of gaps that may be technological or practical issues, whatever may be these things. Now, all these technologies can be into the private domain so that they can develop various applications. Another dimension is marketing, products and services emanating out of ISRO. It will be like a marketing agency for ISRO. Now, a confusion will come with respect to NSIL and Antrix Corporation. Antrix Corporation is established in 1992 itself. NSIL is a recent one. Long back in 1992 itself, they have established Antrix as a commercial arm of ISRO. When I'm saying commercial arm of ISRO, suppose ISRO has produced some maps, some cartographic maps. It will approach Antrix to sell these maps to the public. Not only public, or to different industries. So Antrix is a chota brother, small brother of NSIL. NSIL role is much more bigger than Antrix. If NSIL becomes too big, Antrix may be dissolved also. We don't know. That is their thing. Okay. So don't get confused with Antrix and NSIL. Antrix has a limited role. Previously, it is continuing. It has its own market, which has it developed from the last almost 30 years. Okay, so they will run Antrix for some time. If required, they may dissolve it and merge it with NSIL also. Okay, so like that, they are doing it. Okay, fine. So this is Antrix Corporation, 1992, commercial exploitation of ISRO products like this. It is a Mini Ratna status in 2008. Maharatna, Mini Ratna, Navratna. In economy, you will know about status of these companies. Okay. So PSLV C1 Amazonia is important because this is the first private mission done by NSA. Okay, that's the reason I have displayed it. You can see all these SSLV parameters, dwarf planets, exoplanets, gravitational lensing, sun's corona, all these things I have covered in the video yesterday. Prelims orientation. I feel you can read those things or listen to the video and cover it. Okay. Fine. Black hole and all these things. So I will talk something about, see, what is space? This is something important. Space starts after 100 kilometers. 100 kilometers above the surface of Earth, thermal line, that we are defining it as space. Okay, so these fellows, private fellows, whether it is Jeff Bezos, they went above 100 kilometers, stayed for a few seconds or minutes and came back. That's it. Human space flight is aiming for days also in the future. So that is the difference. Tourism, these are the different observatories, asteroids, OSIRIS. Please listen to this or study these things. Open sky security, YARCO, effect, new developments are happening, which are not in mains context, but in prelims context. Try to read these things. If any difficulty, you can ask me. Listen to the videos and you can get back to it. Gravitational waves is an important discovery. Gravitational waves has very big applications for the future, no doubt about it. When we are talking about gravitational waves, they are saying that there is Earth or Sun or any body of mass m, anything is there. With respect to? Yes, so this one. You want this? What is higher? You want open space treaty? Wait, see. There is a difference here. Look, outer space treaty, this outer space treaty is with respect to, this is done long back in 1966. Space belongs to which country? No one. It is a global commons. Some things are belonging to everyone. They are called as global commons. Okay, examples, high seas. High seas means with respect to high, after exclusive economic zone, after 200 nautical miles from the coastal area of the countries, it belongs to everyone. Okay, if you are below 12 nautical miles of a country, suppose Chennai is there, 12 nautical miles from Chennai also belongs to India. It is like a territory for India. Okay, nobody can come as they wish. They want to show the permit, visa, everything is required. Up to till 200 nautical miles is an exclusive economic zone. Beyond 200 nautical miles, that does not belong to anyone. It belongs to all global commons. Antarctica is a global common. Antarctica is also a global common. Arctic is not global common. Arctic belongs to only 8 countries. Similarly, space is a global common. So how to regulate that space? What is any common agreement? We have a very old treaty, outer space treaty. This I have discussed, I have kept it because why in 1966? Why now? Because now we are going for privatization. Space tourism is increasing. Many countries want to explore space. Now the trouble comes. Who has the authority to utilize space resources? Okay, so there is no treaty yet. A new treaty may come in the future. The existing treaty is outer space treaty, which is nothing but a kind of international space law. Look at the things. What are the points in it? Exploration of the outer space should be carried only for the benefit of mankind. You should not conduct any tests with respect to defense. You can't blast a bomb in the space. Okay, you have to do experiments, microgravity, agriculture, new technology, whatever is there, only which will benefit the human, not your defense exploration and all those things. Space should be useful for peaceful activities only. That is the meaning of things. Free for exploration and used by all states. Anybody can explore this space. Now, outer space is not subject to national appropriation. No sovereignty. India, above 100 kilometers above India, this belongs to me. If International Space Station is going above Indian space, they have to take permission of India. No. Space belongs to all. No claims of sovereignty. Global commons. Some other points are also there with respect to this outer space treaty, which says that astronauts are to be deemed as representatives of humanity. They are representatives of mankind. Why man? Patriarchy, humanity, you will write. Okay. Representatives of humanity. So if just example which I gave, astronaut landed in Pakistan, don't arrest him by saying that he does not have visa. Like that, points are there in which treaty? Outer space treaty. You should not fight, you should not do defense exploration. All these things are there in outer space treaty. You don't confuse with open skies treaty, like your friend has asked. Open skies treaty is about civil aviation. How many flights should be there between two nations? That is open skies treaty. Between agreement between two nations, how many flights you are having between you and me? The agreements you done in what? Open sky. Whether I can fly my civil aviation aircraft on your mainland, whether you are going to give access with respect to any fuel requirements, all those things will be covered under Open Skies Treaty. That is different with respect to civil aviation. Okay, that is different. Outer Space Treaty is okay. See, now the same thing which we have pointed out, states shall not use nuclear weapons or other weapons of mass destruction in the space. Moon and celestial bodies also you have to useful for peaceful purposes only. Don't plan a explosion on moon in the future. Astronauts shall be regarded as envoys of mankind, no humanity. Okay. At that point of time, words will be like that only. Responsible for national space activities. See, this is very important. This is the important point we have. If a country, from a country, any private organization commits some space activity, and that has resulted, less like last year, it was in the news like China's space mission or some space related thing is going to collapse on some land in the world. Suddenly there was fear. There was a technical error. This China is doing many things. So there was an error. The satellite is going to collapse. People feared that it may collapse on land. Fortunately, it collapsed into ocean. What if it collapsed on land? Who is responsible? China will say, if China says, I didn't do, there is some company in China that did it. That is not my intention. No. Anything, whether it is private or government, if it is from your country, the country is responsible for it. Okay. So in privatization, we have to in space also take this point into consideration while granting access to various private companies in the future. Okay, so that's what we are. States should avoid harmful contamination of space and celestial bodies. But is this happening? There is a huge amount of space debris which is being created. Who will take care of this space debris? Nobody knows. Okay, so that is an emerging area which we have to look. Open Skies Treaty, this is about civil aviation, which I just mentioned. Okay, this is separate. Now, Yarkos KFF, this is related to some asteroid. Please study it. I will share these things. Okay. Gravitational waves are important. Gravity travels from point A to point B. Previously, it was being assumed why gravity is there, no explanation. It is a force present in the nature. Now, the discovery, they have found gravitational waves. When I am saying gravitational waves, they are also implying that space will bend. That is something which we can't understand. Sir, what is the meaning? Space bending. Space itself means there is nothing. We don't know. Can we hold space? Can we hold space? What nonsense he is talking, sir? Can we hold space? Yes, we can. See, I am lifting this mic. This may feel odd for you, but that is the reality. I am just lifted this mic like this. I say that 99% of what I lifted, more than 99%, I have lifted space. What nonsense? It's not nonsense. If you see any atom, if you see the atom, general understanding is atom is there at the center. Electrons are going, classical model, around like this. There is a huge gap between center nucleus and electrons. Yes or no? A model says if you take a football field, cricket field is less when compared to football stadium. Football stadium is very big. If the nucleus is at the center of football stadium, electron is rotating at the edge of football stadium. How much space within a single atom? Yes or no? So this all the atoms are making up this mic is made up of these kinds of atom only. Lot of space in between them. Yes or no? That's the reason a new discovery is happening in the name of neutrinos. Have you heard of it? These neutrinos are passing through our bodies right now. As I am talking, don't confuse these neutrinos with neutrons. Neutrons are the particles present in the nucleus of the atom. Where is nucleus of the atom? At the center. I hope you studied 10th class. Yes or no? Whether it is humanities or non-humanities, you know the atom basics. At the center you have nucleus, protons, and neutrons surrounded by electrons. So these neutrons are present in the center, in the nucleus. But I am talking about a new particle called neutrinos. They are also particles like light present in the nature. There are other particles called neutrinos. These neutrinos are passing right now to us. How they are passing? Because lot of gaps are there in the space within the within the human body. Millions of neutrinos are passing through us right now. We didn't discover them till now, but they are there. Okay, in the same manner, gravitational waves, once they are discovered, space is bending. Multiple things are happening. Okay, still don't net, it's a developing field. They discovered these gravitational fields because they are emitted. Energy is emitted in this form. They are getting exploded. We will get gravitational waves when stars are exploding, when black holes are colliding. What is a black hole? What is a black hole? New term they have introduced here now. What is a black hole means? If there is a star. Okay, let us take sun or a bigger star than sun. Sun will have a fuel, hydrogen fuel, which is happening. A reaction is happening. Once this fuel gets exhausted, will the sun stay like a star? No. It may collapse. Sun is so big, a star is so big, it has so much of gravity. Yes or no? Because of the reactions happening in the sun, they are emitting continuously. Sun is not collapsing into itself. Once the fuel gets exhausted, sun will collapse automatically because of its own gravity. Some stars may turn into black holes. Why I am calling it black holes? Because nothing comes out of these black holes. Even light also can't come out of this black hole. So much of gravity. Earth will become a black hole. Earth will become a black hole once if it becomes the size of like a mustard seed. You know mustard seed? So much small. If the size of Earth is fixed, is made so compact so that it can fit into a mustard seed, then it will turn into a black hole. Nothing can escape out of it. So such black holes are there in the universe. Okay. So we are getting these gravitational waves from colliding black holes, from stars exploding. All these things we can study. Not only the source, we can study them also with the help of these gravitational waves. So black holes, orbiting black holes, one around the other, two black holes are orbiting. They are releasing what waves? Gravitational waves. See, the space is bending. It is so big, even light, everything will bend around black. So we were able to discover these gravitational waves through an instrument called interferometer. Simply they will ask, what is the purpose of interferometer? It is used to create different light effects. Option A, detect gravitational waves. C, create electromagnetic interference. D, none. What is the answer? Gravitational waves. Okay, so they have conducted this experiment. Huge mirrors are there. Look at the path, around 4 kilometers is the distance between this. Laser beams will be there. They will detect this. These gravitational waves are predicted by Einstein in 1916 in his general theory of relativity. He predicted in 1916, almost in 2016-17, they discovered 100 years later. That's the reason got a Nobel Prize in 2017. Okay, Nobel Prizes are given for the advancements which happen in next year, 1 year before. In that year, 2016, gravitational waves were discovered, so they gave a Nobel Prize in 2007. Okay, so that's what interferometer is, the device which is used to detect this gravitational waves. So only thing is, with respect to prelims or mains, sources of gravitational waves will become important. From where we are getting this gravitational waves, only that part we have to know. Merger of black holes or neutron stars, rapidly rotating neutron stars, supernova. Supernova also is a stage when a star is collapsing. All these are the various stages of star. Formation of the universe, even Big Bang also created a lot of gravitational waves. Okay. So that's the first time we have detected it. They are too weak to be detected. With the help of interferometer, we are detecting this gravitational waves. See, various waves. Massive star, it is collapsing. The star is becoming a black hole, emitting gravitational waves. Or one star is rotating around other star or other black hole, gravitational waves. When two black holes are merging or when two neutron stars are merging, it will create a what? Gravitational waves. Okay, so different sources of gravitational waves. Energy in this form. Interferometer is an instrument which is used to understand or detect this gravitational waves. India has its own interferometers. Leave all these things. India has its own. See, this is the setup. Look at the big setup here. So much of distance. In USA, we have this setup. LIGO. LIGO is a setup by USA. India has its own LIGO India observatory, which is being planned. Kagra is an observatory in Japan. Virgo is an observatory in Italy. Okay, these names you have to know with respect to gravitational waves detection in the world. Only few observatories are there. Okay. Yeah. Significance of Indigo. That India's LIGO project is called as what? Indigo. What is the utility of Indigo project? Okay, once time they have asked in mains, I think some dome project or with respect to some development, a question was asked on Kerala. Kerala did some experiment. They asked a mains question. What is the utility of that experiment? Okay, what is it? Cyber dome. Question on that cyber dome. They have done some development. They have asked about it. So at the max, what is the significance? What is Indigo project? What is its significance? Like that only they can ask. Or what are gravitational waves? Write a question then. Write a question. What are gravitational waves? What are gravitational waves? Discuss the significance of Indigo project. What are gravitational waves? Discuss the significance of Indigo project. Okay. For the significance, gravitational waves, you can explain what are gravitational waves in your own words. You write the significance, these 5 points, 4 or 5 points in the significance. Copy down these things. Significance of Indigo project. We are planning this in Maharashtra. Okay, chale. Identification of new sources, where gravitational waves are coming. See, things are somewhat interesting things are developing actually. Can we predict the occurrence of earthquakes? Can we predict? We can at the max tell earthquake zones in the world or in India specifically, where earthquake is more dangerous things are hazard, earthquake zonation can be done. But can you predict earthquake? Is there any guarantee that Chennai will not have earthquake by the class by the time this class gets finished? Not negative, but to not happen, you eat your lunch. But still, is there any possibility? Yes. Okay, there is a possibility. Earthquake can occur at anywhere on this planet. Now, these gravitational waves, we don't know how they may be applied. Okay, not only this, neutrino, new particle I told about, neutrinos, they are actually having huge scope with respect to discovery of or predicting earthquakes because they can pass through us. These neutrinos can pass into the air and they can see rock structure. How is it? They can reflect back. If we were able to tap neutrinos, we can have a prediction of earthquakes in the future. Like, so all these sciences, all these explorations, neutrino research, gravitational waves, quantum computing, new ways, supercomputers, not supercomputers, superconductivity at room temperature. That's a major breakthrough because superconductors are something which have very low resistance to passage of electricity. If current is being passed through it, lot of heat loss is happening. Okay, anything will have a heat loss. We were able to create superconductors at very low temperatures. Once you establish the current, it will flow continuously. What is current? Movement of electrons. As there is a resistance, electrons are slowing down. What if there is no resistance? Continuously, electrons will move. Okay, so we were able to create superconductors at low temperatures. What if we have a superconductor at room temperature? A very great change. Such major gain leap applications, probable questions. Okay, neutrino advancements, use why scientists are behind this neutrino, or why scientists are behind this gravitational waves, why scientists are behind superconductivity at room temperatures. Like it. Okay, major events we have to follow as we are studying in this dimensions. Okay. Now, Vertices, Da Vinci, NASA missions, it's okay with respect to these are all prelims. NASA's Mars exploration, it has its own helicopter in Mars also. Human-based, our automatic in a kind of UAV. Flight is flying in Mars with respect to NASA's missions. Psych mission is there. This is very important. You'll know all these things once you either, I'm repeating again and again. I can't cover these things because we have to cover much more important things. All these things you can study on your own or listen to the audios or videos of evening classes. You can come if you want, that is your choice, or prepare directly from the slides. Psych is a very important mission of NASA because Psych has a characteristic. This Psych, because this asteroid Psych is composed of iron and nickel, completely like metals. Why this is important for us? What the asteroid? What if there are many asteroids? You know asteroids? Yes or no? Not only between Mars and Jupiter. There are many asteroids. Okay. What if it has metal? What is the purpose? Because Earth, at the center of the Earth, you have metals. So there is a similarity between this composition and Earth's composition. This asteroid has lost all its outer area. So we are interested in studying that specifically. NASA is interested in studying that. So like that, many things are happening. Why study asteroids? There is a dark mission of asteroid. There is Aditya L1. Why we have to study sun? There are interesting properties of sun, which we discussed yesterday. Coronal mass ejection, solar flares, Indo-French collaboration. What are the things which are happening with respect to India and France? All this, Krishna, CNES, Argos, all these missions are very important. Indian monsoonal studies, megatropics is there. To study about oceans, we have SARAN, India and French collaboration. Okay, these names are important. The new bacteria on the Indian space station is named on Indian. Syed Ajmal Khan, methyl bacterium ajmali. It's a bacteria which is found in International Space Station, named on Indian scientist. You have very important development with respect to NISAR. NISAR is a very important collaboration between India and USA. Okay, very big developed advanced nations are collaborating with India because India is very good with respect to space, defense, and nuclear arms. So NISAR is very important. You have a gained meter radio telescope. Look at this, all these big antennas. This is in Pune only. Okay, they are collecting a lot of information with respect to space, astrophysics, applications related to astrophysics. It is not under ISRO, it is under Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. Okay, this is an important event. Then you have telescopes, 30-meter telescope project. Gained meter telescope is different, 30-meter is different. Gained meter is in India, Pune. 30-meter telescope is a joint collaboration of various countries. Okay, Canada, China, India, Japan, USA, they are building this 30-meter telescope in Harvard for astronomical observations. Okay, so the 30-meter telescope is not in India. They are building it there for astronomical observations. SpaceX is a development with respect to SpaceX. Previously, we used to have record. ISRO used to have a big record of 104 satellites in a single launch. Okay, but SpaceX caused it. It has launched 143 satellites, largest till now. Okay, how privatization can help us using. So that's the reason we are going with the privatization slowly. Science and technology policy, they may ask a question. Okay, let me put a question rather than going on. Science and tech policy, discuss the challenges associated with innovation ecosystem in India. Discuss the challenges associated with innovation ecosystem in India. Okay, when I'm talking about innovation ecosystem, you have to discuss with respect to education sector. Discuss with respect to why R&D expenditure, what is the issue with respect to R&D expenditure, etc. This is a probable question. Okay, discuss the problems associated with innovation ecosystem in India and suggest way forward. In which book you will find these things? Except government reports. Okay, so quickly, you might have studied, obviously all are graduates, yes or no? So why India? See, India has achieved a lot, no doubt. Our intellectual property generation is increasing, but still there are problems. Okay, so please try to write this answer now, 5 minutes. What are the problems? You have to practice like this only. Right. So I'll discuss some points with respect to government reports. What are the challenges with respect to innovation ecosystem? Just will write some points, then you compare with your answer. Okay. Anything extra, always there will be extra, no doubt about it, 1 or 2 points. But depends on how priority you are giving, how much priority you are giving to more important points. Okay. So first point with respect to issues with respect to innovation ecosystem in India, some points we will write. Please note down. Low R&D expenditure, especially from the private sector. Very interestingly, in India, already, see, there are 2 dimensions in it. Low R&D expenditure, less than 2% of India's GDP. We want to have R&D expenditure more than 2% of India's GDP. Science and technology is very important, yes or no? But still, so much of input is not given to it. Okay, so less than 2% of GDP for R&D expenditure, that is one aspect with respect to government. With respect to private sector, already GDP expenditure, or sorry, R&D expenditure is low. But in that low expenditure, private sector is not at all focusing on R&D investments. Very less. Even the so-called software sector, which is very big, even it is not investing more into R&D. Most of the companies, majority of the companies in India are not product companies. They are service companies. You might be, there are many software individuals here. Yes or no, who might have worked before. Okay, there is an applet. Let us take Sun Microsystems. Sun Microsystems developed Java. Here, service, that is a product. Now, companies, there are many companies who are using that Java software and developing various applications. That's it. We are not creating a new product. If we have product companies, our products will dominate in the, whether it is hardware or software, they will dominate in the world. But we are oriented more in just developing applications. So they are not only software, that's the case with many other private sector companies. Low investment into R&D, not only by the government, but by the private sector itself. That is the first defect which we are having. Second defect is less number of R&D human resources, research and development related scientists. Okay, per million comparison, if you compare with other countries, China has almost 1200 per million who are involving in R&D, research and development activities. India has less than around 200 only professionals who are opting this research and development as a career. Immediate after graduation, focus is becoming more on getting an employment of some technology, whether you are a computer engineer, biotech engineer, chemical engineer, or any engineer, you will do which work? Software. Major. No, sir, I am an exception. Exceptions will be there everywhere. But I'm talking about majority of, not only engineering, that's the criteria. People are not having this urge to opt research and development as a career. Okay, reading books itself has becoming a stress activity. Unfortunately, a researcher should always try to look for something new. That urge is not. Third dimension which we can write is huge gaps in industry, academic, and R&D organization linkages. Huge gap is there. The industry will do its own requirements. Academic institutions do their own things. Okay, private organizations, industry, academic, and research labs. All three are going in their own way. No proper linkages. A kind of silo-based activity is happening. One is doing on the work on their own without having any proper inputs or linkages. That is third dimension. Fourth dimension is lack of career prospects. Lack of better career prospects, especially in basic sciences. Without good basic sciences, we can't have a strong foundation for various R&D activities. Nobody is interested in taking basic sciences as a career. Okay, good, especially in South India. I don't know the situation with respect to Tamil Nadu, I'm assuming so. If you are an intermediate or PSU or whatever pre-university, you have to do either engineering or medicine. Otherwise, you are someone outcast. Especially in Telugu speaking states. Okay, they have created this hype, unfortunately. Now things are slowly changing. Basic sciences research means gone. If a rank 1 in IITG, if he has opted for MSc physics, gone. Everybody will look at it. Oh, you missed electrical engineering. You are not taking this. Basic science research means it is being portrayed as if people who are not having any capability, they have to go for degree, BSc or MSc. Like that, things are portrayed. Unfortunately, that's because we don't have enough career opportunities also in basic science research. Okay, then next dimension which you can add is lack of in the lab to line. That point we can add here. Many organizations, you write list of various laboratories, CSIR, ICMR, laboratories, or with respect to DRDO. Many things are happening with respect to research in these things. But all these discoveries are not, all these inventions are not made as a practical utility-based products. Okay, memory booster doses are there by, nuclear science. You know, like where is nuclear science and where is memory enhancement? They have that products. Does anybody know about it? Only few, maybe. Can be based. Many things are there which they have cultivated. Nuclear energy is also used for food processing technology. Many applications are there. Still, they are pending in the nuclear laboratories. Even with respect to arthritis treatment, already technology is there. Koha, Samha, Volke, there are treatments in nuclear laboratories which they have devised these techniques to cure arthritis also. But in market, you will not find them because of whatever may be the reason. Okay, so that lab to land huge gap is there with respect to India. Government procurement is also not favoring new innovations. Public procurement, government is the biggest procurer. What do you mean by procurement? Government wants, suppose government wants some product. It will go for procurement. From where it will procure? It will tell at least 15 years experience. In the tender itself, it will tell. So new innovations, we are talking about innovation ecosystem. When they don't have market, who will invest? Who will go for it? Even the government procurement is favoring the already established things, this decreasing the scope for new small innovation-oriented companies. Okay, then you talk about education sector. Education sector is mainly oriented towards marks orientation. Yes or no? Rote learning. No scope for innovation. That curriculum change is not happening. Standalone systems are being used. Okay, unfortunately, this is reducing the innovation or creativity capability in the students. Okay, lab to land, not only lab to land. Now issues are there, new education policy is there, adult tinkering labs are there, no doubt about it. Things are changing slowly, that we will write in the conclusion. In a way forward, which I want you to write on your home, in your home today. Okay, way forward, you will only write. Okay, with respect to innovation sector, these are the education and only standardized thing, entrepreneurship, innovation, they are not going hand in hand. Right issue with respect to gender. Women's participation in innovation sector is highly marginalized. Yes or no? Because they have to take career breaks. Access to higher education is less. These type of things are limited. So once we are eliminating, if not eliminating, restricting or not providing enough opportunities to 40-50% of the population, how the ecosystem will develop? Yes, sir. This urge for creating this innovation that we have not created in the India's youth. Okay, there is a principle called Kaizen in Japan. Kaizen principle means whatever you do, there is always a better way to do it. You did some great improvement. They feel that always there is a scope for improvement. Okay, so that innovation, that concept of innovation is not there. Next point is many grassroots level innovations are happening. You see whether education is not only getting degrees, right? Many innovations are happening at the grassroots. Study about national knowledge network. Honeybee network. In the bracket you write Honeybee network Bolke. It is done by IM professor. He has collected the innovations of common people throughout the country. He has database it. You will be amazed what are the things these people are doing. A small, these tube lights will be there. Street tube lights, when they are using these fluorescent tube lights, this is 10 years back. No, 15 years back thing which I have seen. When the tube light, it will turn into black. One side of the tube light, it will turn into black. The other two sides, if it's turned into black, that's gone. It's gone case. But one side, if it's turned black, a small person, a small ITI electrician has devised an external circuit. Diode based. Heard about diode? Engineering students might have heard. The diode is like a switch basically. It is a device, small device. He created a small device with the diodes and he added it to the external side of the tube light. The tube light is gone. It is defect only on the one side, fluorescent tube light. With its extra small circuit, all the tube lights which are spoiled at one side, they can work. Nizamabad or some town has installed all the street tube lights using his technology. Gone case. Only limited exposure. So much of innovation. That itself is a big product. So grassroots innovations. India is famous for grassroots innovations. They are not given proper scope for marketability or access or branding or anything. Okay. Last point is with respect to lack of, then you write other small things, financial support. Okay, ecosystem or getting out resources, financial aspect, infrastructure aspect, all these things is the last point. Okay, so this is the problems with respect to India's innovation ecosystem. Way forward, you study. What should be way forward? Is it the way forward of the government or your way forward? They have asked your way forward, suggest way forward. You have to write your view. Of course, by looking at what government is doing. Definitely, you have to quote in the way forward about new education policy as well as new science and tech and innovation policy. This is an old one. In the news, they are saying that they are going to amend it. But till now, it has not amended. So for the time being, this policy implementation you have, right? Atal Tinkering Innovation Labs, you have, right? All these things, you will write it in the way forward. Okay, study on the way forward. These are only problems. What should be the solution for India's innovation ecosystem that you write? Okay. Also think about traditional knowledge, TKDL, traditional knowledge digital library. Many innovations are happening which are being data-based. So how to bring them into useful ways? Yes or no? Itself, many proceeds. If you have a gastric trouble, sudden gas trouble is there, mothers or grandmas, they used to have a small kitchen trick. Okay, they will take one or two things which are available in the kitchen, they will mix it with water and you will feel very comfortable. Such things, many things are there which are being lost. That has to be given a reference in your answer. Yes or no? So work on it, study and then write. Problems you have known. What should be the solution? You have to study and write it as an answer. Okay. So as of now, this is the policy which we have. So we have to very briefly look at that policy. Question can come, critically analyze science and technology and innovation policy of India, which is nothing but I have written it in another way. So if you look at briefly this policy, if the policy changes, we have to refer to the new policy. Anyway, as of now, this is the thing. Focus on science technology. The word innovation has been used for the first time in the S&T policy. Okay, in 2013, before you have a policy, 1986 old policies they have. Anyway, they have changed that stage by stage. Historical development of science and tech innovation policy in India not required for UPSC. They will not ask such critical things. Standard things they will not ask. At the max, they will ask the problems with the present innovation policy. Problems they will ask. Okay, all these things which I have told are not in this policy. Okay, also you can write. So this policy focus on STI activity. It has given this approach, SWIST, Science Research Innovation System for High Technology led path for India. They want to use science and technology for a growth of the country, development of the country. So whatever research developments we are doing, we have to have this in mind. Okay, they are telling many things. They will tell what are the key features. Promoting scientific temper, having fundamental duty also, enhancing skills for application, for young people, especially in social sectors, health, education, rural development, like that. They can give. Making careers in science and innovation for talented. How they will make career? It is the duty of the government to make it attractive. Okay, you will say, I will give you only 20,000 rupees. You do research. Will they do? It's good that if they does, but some kind of support should be there. Not only financial, it's about building your career. Then only people will come. World class infrastructure, not Indian class. Which class? World class infrastructure. You have to build like that. Many things. These policies will be useful as a measure. I think for UPSC only they have designed these policies. All these are the good keywords. How they do, that will not be told in the policy. Okay, so any policy is just like a raw material for our answers. Okay, so you can create robust national eco-weighting, focus on IPRC, new dimension. We have a problem with respect to innovation ecosystem. There is no simpler IPR in the country, intellectual property rights. To register an IPR, it's a very big, complicated procedure, unfortunately, with delays, high cost. So policy is talking about that, but how they will make, that's a different. Who will make? All you UPSC people, when you become collectors, you have secretaries, you have to enable it. So they are saying, sir, you are not telling anything here. Why you are here? You come and join and you make na. Okay, answer will come from the government machinery question. Okay, modify IPR policy. They have modified it also. Anyway, these are the things. With respect to science and tech, a kind of theoretical, but UPSC will ask this in an applied manner only, like we have portrayed. Now, Science and Tech Advisory Council, they have reframed this council. Please look into this. Science and Tech Prime Minister Science, Technology and Innovation Advisory Council. Who are the members of this council? How it is there? What is its role? It's a prelims perspective which we have to look. Just note down this word. Prime Minister Science, Tech, Innovation Advisory Council. Okay, this council has identified 9 science and tech national S&T missions. This is important for us. Question can come. It has identified which missions? S&T missions. What are those 9 areas? That is important. National language translation. Quantum frontier. National mission on quantum. See, these 9 areas are obviously focus areas. So these 9 technologies you have to focus upon like that. Because to remove English, all the local languages will be translated. If not all, any language will be given into English and one native language. All the research publications. So many ministries are involved in all these missions. Ministry of HRD is on. It is now Ministry of Education. Okay, space is there. Quantum. In quantum, you have space, DRDO, electronics and information rights. What is quantum computing? We will see slowly. Just I am listing out the areas now. National Mission on Artificial Intelligence, National Biodiversity Mission. Okay. Then National Mission on Waste to Health. And waste to wealth is also there. Okay, separately. When we are converting the waste, you are removing the waste. So I am aiding the health like that. They are portraying Deep Ocean Mission to get exploration of deep oceans. In Deep Ocean Mission, as I said yesterday, you have Department of Space also. Okay, to design that vehicles, unmanned vehicles, which go into the oceans. Okay, manned also, they are planning manned deep ocean missions also. Okay, like that they are doing. Mission on electrical vehicles. A question for you as a homework. Why electrical vehicles are burning in recent time? Are they burning or not? Okay, don't say temperatures are increasing. That is not the only answer. Why electrical vehicle? Write it as rough. Why electrical vehicles, especially two-wheelers? Especially two-wheelers. What are the challenges associated with electrical vehicles? Don't write simply burning. Okay, burning itself is a recent thing. So why electrical vehicles, especially two-wheelers, are subjected to dangers in recent times? Discuss the challenges associated with electrical vehicles in India. That's a broad question. Okay, not only burning, you have to write half of the answer about burning of electrical vehicles. Other half of the question should be on challenges. What are the challenges associated with electrical vehicles in India? Okay, like that you see National Mission on Biosciences for Human Health, Genome Studies and all these things. Biotechnology missions, Agni, accelerating growth for New India's innovation. So they have a separate mission on India's improving India's ecosystem, innovation ecosystem. So definitely a question on innovation ecosystem is expected. Okay, so like this, all these are the 9 focus areas which the Prime Minister's Council is focusing upon. I-STEM, simply I will tell this I-STEM, all these R&D institutions will have high costly, very big equipment, will be having. They will not be using that equipment continuously. So I will share the government funded equipment will be shared to other professors of other institutes or even industry. They will share that equipment. They will come and use it like a time slot. So like that is enabled by this iSTEM portal, which is important. Okay. So like this, the details is you can read simply. There is no conceptual understanding much in this. What is what you have to know about this. Please study all this. Fast radio burst, asteroids, Yarkovsky effect, location of these dwarf planets, very important. Where is Cirrus? Where is where is Eris? All these things are Hayabusa. Questions, previous questions have been asked on it already in films. Okay, what is Sagaculus? Okay, so I'll take a small break now, 10 minutes, and we'll come back and start. Yeah. Previously, they have asked questions like this. Every year, one question used to come. Which of the following are the applications of remote sensing satellites? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options. Okay, what are the which of the following are the applications of communication satellite? Like that, they have already asked in prelims. In the mains, they may focus exclusively. India has achieved a lot with respect to remote sensing satellites. Discuss the applications of remote sensing satellites for national development. Only specifically focusing on remote sensing. Okay, or specifically focusing on communications. Like that also they can ask. So this is a report. This is a report of ISRO itself, which I am displaying. Only keywords you have to take. Very quickly we'll see. We are talking about, see, when we are looking at remote sensing satellite applications, we have to also understand that these remote sensing satellites are used for various applications. In fact, various satellites are developed. Cartosat 1, 2. For cartography is about maps, developing varieties of map-based needs. Okay, resource sat, natural resources monitoring, ocean sat. Like that, many satellites are already there with respect to specific purposes to get various data. In the same manner, if you look at this aspect of remote applications, what are the various remote sensing applications? Just I'm highlighting important areas with respect to agriculture. Question can come in agriculture also. India is facing a lot of agriculture distress. How space technologies can be used for addressing agriculture needs. Like that also. So quickly we'll be writing with under the subheading of agriculture with respect to new crop inventory. What crops are grown? See, with respect to one area, one region they can take, Cuttack they have taken. What is the yield? Not only type of crop, they can also talk about yield, agriculture, productivity. We have, in spite of attaining lot of developments with respect to green revolution. Heard about green revolution? Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, lot of changes they have made. In spite of that, our agriculture productivity is almost half when compared to Southeast Asia. 6,000 kg is coming as a net output from rice fields in Southeast Asia. We are only at 3,000 kg level. Such much difference. So there is a lot of scope for improving in productivity. How best? Not only just the crop, not only just the area, how much productive we are. Okay, so that also data we can analyze. Which regions have high productivity? Which regions have low productivity? Then, as an administrator, you will question why productivity is less here. What can be done to improve productivity? Why only these crops are grown? Why not different? If oil palm is cultivated, nowadays there is more focus on oil palm. How many acres are under oil palm? Which regions? Why only in these regions? Why not here? To plan something, who will give this data? Just you went on your bike and saw 1 or 2 oil farms palm, and based on that, will you decide a policy? No, no. So these things with respect to new crop yield molders, crop insurance, when a disaster strikes, how much of crop, whose farmer's crop has been affected? Whether it is drought, whether it is, see, insurance companies, private insurance will come. Or government of India insurance is there with respect to agriculture. What is it? Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Where all it is applied? How to give compensation? How much destruction? Insurance. Till now, agriculture insurance is not proper because of lack of proper data only. So remote sensing applications will fill that gap. So in agriculture insurance, in agro industries also, suppose you want to establish a food processing industry, tomato sauce company you want to establish. Wait, what is the better place? Where you will get the raw materials? Food processing sector is highly neglected sector, having lot of scope in the future. For us, we have high diversity of agricultural products because weather is highly diverse. Soils are highly diverse. We can get temperate crops, tropical crops, fruits, vegetables, so much of diversity in India, but things are not processed. Okay, so food processing sector, agro-based sector, huge scope is there, in which the agro-based industries can take help of the applications developed by remote sensing satellites. Okay, this itself can be an essay Yes or no? A science and technology based essay is always one essay will be there with respect to science and technology. All these points you have to write. Okay. So agriculture, all these ways we are getting the benefits. Not only here, many applications I have listed. I am directly taking land degradation. With environment also you can write. Desertification. What is the difference between desertification and land degradation? Land degradation is a bigger term. Land degradation. It can happen because of pollution. It can happen because of mining. It can happen because of improper grazing practices. Yes or no? Some animals are there, ungulates. What are those? They will have shell-like structure at their legs. Horse, it will have horseshoe, tuck, tuck, bolke, strong. These ungulates, then they have a characteristic. They are so desperate, the grass, they will uproot from the roots. The roots of the grass will be having a lot of deeper, the root mechanism is there for the grasses. Because if water is not there, the grass may dry, but the root will stay. If you sprinkle water sometime later, automatically the grass will come. They have a deeper root structure. These fellows, these animals, grazing animals will uproot from the roots. That may be Manchuria for them. They want roots also, not only the grass. So that will create a disturbance with respect to soil structure. Outer soil will become highly loose, subjected to a lot of soil erosion. Okay, desertification, in fact, it's not like spreading of Thar desert in India. No. Desertification is happening, Thar desert is spreading. No, it's not like that. When the moisture in the soil is decreasing. Okay, when alkalinity, aridity is increasing, we are going in that direction. So land degradation is a very big thing. Desertification is a part of it. So one dimension of it, that's it. So how much of land, what is the status of land in India with respect to this aspect? What is soil fertility in India? All those things can be known with respect to applying whose data? Remote sensing satellites. Okay, so that is one dimension. Next, with respect to biodiversity characterization, what type of forest resources are there? What is the type of type of trees available in different forests? What are the different type of species? What are endemic species? What does the term mean by endemic? Which is available only there, local. Okay, endemic. Okay, like that, what are the endemic species which we have? All these things can be there. In fact, they have established Indian Bioresource Information Network for databasing various biodiversity resources of the nation. So it will have, once it is databased, other companies can use it. Genetic pools can be developed. Okay, so a lot of spillover benefits will be there. Then you'll have habitats and all those things, coastal, shoreline changes, things which are happening. They have built an atlas also. How the coasts are changing, how much of soil erosion is there, how much of deposition is there, how the landforms in coastal areas are changing. All this can be analyzed with respect to which data? I'm only looking at remote sensing data, not only with respect to coastlines. No. Himalayas are called as what? Third pole. North pole, south pole. What is the third pole on the planet? Himalayas. There, the glaciers you have. There, the monitoring of these glaciers is very important. They are feeding the rivers also. Climate change is happening. How much of changes are happening in these glaciers in Himalayan region? All this can be monitored. Snow cover, surface temperatures, ozone levels, cloud cover, solar radiation, land cover. How much of deforestation is happening in Himalayan region? All this can be monitored with the help of remote sensing applications like that. See how they are linking varieties of ways. All these maps they are developing. Daily average snow melt rate. Like that they are making a things. Glacier lakes you'll have. Lake Atlas for Ganga River Basin also has been done. You have Bharati and Maitri stations. Where are they located? Antarctic. For them also support through what is the condition of sea ice there in our space station. Sorry, in our Antarctica research stations. Okay, for that also they are using that remote sensing. Okay, all these are the applications, mining related, land subsidence. What is the status of land? Mine comes, open cast mining comes. It comes and it ducks it. So how much is the stable region in it? Okay, all these things with respect to Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, building of rural roads. Not only that, MGNREGA. What is MGNREGA? National Rural 100 days work. In this 100 days work in rural areas, is MGNREGA available in urban areas? No, it is only in rural areas. National Rural Development. Okay, so they are building various assets, canals. So how much of work is done? It can be geotagged. Like you are geotagging your, suppose you have a store, retail shop. You tag it in the Google map. So how much of toilets I have built? How much of roads, rural roads in a particular region they have built? How much of canals, desiltation they have done? All these things can be known in the map. Depending on that, you can take a lot of decisions. Lot of resources can be pooled based on this data. Okay, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, how many toilets have been built? A collector, I think in Mathura district, she built 20,000 toilets in a single day. How much of planning is required? Who is helping? Which data is helping? Like this. She has to check, she can't visit 20,000 toilets in a single day. Only sampling she can do here and there random. So how much of assets have been built? She planned 20,000 toilets in a single day. Okay, so that is the significance once you use technology in implementation. Of course, leadership also will play a role. She was able to show that. Anyway, so all these things, North Asian region, Swachh Bharat mission, sewerage treatment plant locations, not only toilets. We are very, Swachh Bharat mission also, this open defecation free, this we achieve. So next stage is ODF plus, where there should not be any waste. Once I came to Chennai, I was very happy to see nothing. All the roads were clean. Morning, 6 o'clock, 6:30. That was not the case 10, 15 years back when I came to IIT Madras. That is not the case. Okay, things are changing. We are using technology in different ways we are using. Okay, so next stage is how many sewage treatment plants we have. How to build, what are their locations. Based on that locations, many applications can be developed. Okay, suppose you want to build an industry on human waste processing. If not human waste to biomanure you want to create. For that, you need to require the data of sewerage treatment plants. Yes or no? Without that, how can you go to the next step? Not only government, private agencies, lot of spillover benefits you will have. Okay, so like that, we are looking at ocean scatter, severe cyclone, all these are the data. Okay, that is anyone will write disasters, images with respect to oceans. We have to look at other application-oriented points like it mentioned in this report. Whose report is this? Is this my report? ISRO's report. When the examiner is setting the paper, reference he will give obviously to whose report? Government reports. So we have to extract. This is around how many pages? This is 190 pages report is there. Don't read 190 pages. Just applications. Selectively go through it, take the crux of it, put it, make a question, answer, that's it. Jai. Like it depends on how smartly you take the data from the government publications. Okay, so that's the reason I have put one example only. I am saying like that you have to go for biotechnology, like all these are nonsense for us. For them, it is very important. For us, it is not useful. Yes or no? All this wavelength, why we have to disaster management. This question itself we will do. Wait, I'll tell you an answer. All this local applications, we are not interested. Fog mapping, like this. Now, communication applications with respect to communication satellite. They will give the history, how much GSAT is there, how much GSAT satellites are there. All these things are nonsense for us. Okay, for UPS, it may be useful for groups. Group 1, Group 2, they will demand all this content, data. UPSC is a very good example. I'm not saying that Group 1, Group 2 are wrong, but orientation is different. Okay, a lot of data orientation will be there in groups level. Even now they are changing, but UPSC orientation. UPSC is sticking to applied aspect. Communication satellite applications, financial institutions, television with respect to DTS services, not only with respect to now he will talk about telemedicine. What is telemedicine? Doctor will be somewhere patient will be somewhere, a nurse will be there to assist, specialist will be somewhere sitting elsewhere, he will assist the nurse to help the person. In the future, robotic surgeries are possible with the help of telemedicine. Yes or no? Doctors, specialists are only few. He is somewhere else in the city, super specialty hospital. There will be a robot here in the rural area. A robotic arm will be there. That robotic arm will be controlled by the doctor present in the city. Direct satellite link should be there. If you private Airtel connection, that Airtel connection blinked, gone. Okay, direct robotic arms, small, fine surgery. The robotic arm will be controlled by the surgeon present somewhere else. All these are the future scope areas developed through which satellites? Communications. For this, communication satellite is required. Now I switch it to, till now, remote. Now what are the applications? Remote sensing. Now which are applications? Communication satellite application. That's the reason you should have direct long-distance contact with the communication satellite. The satellite which is there here, it should be continuously present on India. Direct link. It will establish. Okay. Telemedicine, tele-education, telecommunications, SATCOMs, even ATMs. This is the previous question they have asked. How satellite communications are used in banks? People have not answered it. All ATM data, your core banking solutions are dependent on satellite communications. Okay, multiple options he will give. They have given. This is the previous questions anyway. Okay, SATCOMs, major role in banking sectors, ATMs and banks. NPTL, see, NTPC, ONGC, IOC, their pipeline management, Indian Railways. Captive networks. This term you will always see in the news. Captive networks means having their own specific application purposes. Okay, captive power plant only with that fact, not for general use. Specifically used captive coal plant. There is iron and steel industry. For that industry, a coal mine will be given. Captive coal mine. Coal from that mine will not be sold to our power generation. Captive coal plant, like that. Okay, so specific application. See, I am a defense ministry. I want all my communications, phone calls, not in this mobile phone. I want a separate satellite communication link for it. So it will ask ISRO to establish that unique captive communication link for Ministry of Defense or Ministry of External Affairs, like that. Applications. Okay, so the captive applications, telemedicine, unique, huge focus would be there with respect to telemedicine in the future. Huge applications are being invested. Even there can be private company in the future which can work on this. So if not UPSC, you have to expose to different dimensions like this. Okay, this preparation itself will broaden your ideas in much more manner. People who have studied UPSC syllabus, with a kind of sincereness, they will not have, they will make anyway. Because ideas will be broadened in multiple directions. For that, what you have to do? First, you have to study. Okay, so this knowledge will not go in vain. If you get into the service, fantastic. That is the aim. If not also, with that urge, you have to study like this. See what all things they are doing. Remote sensing, high altitude interactive softwares they have developing. Okay, Laksh, interactive software also they have used. High altitude in Saichen also they are providing this medical facilities through telemedicine. Medical education also they are training. Suppose a COVID nasal vaccine is in news. Yes or no? With respect to COVID. Now some in a single 1 or 2 days, they want to instruct for all the nurses in the country about this nasal vaccine. Can it be done before? No. It is possible? No. Medical education also, huge scale is there with respect to remote hospitals and all those things. Tele-education, teacher training. Teachers are not interested. The biggest criticism with respect to teacher training in India is once the teacher gets a job, especially in government, so they can't, it's very difficult for the teacher to leave 2 weeks or 3 weeks their home, these things and go to some other location and participate in the training. So that is the biggest hurdle. Now this technology will help us, especially in teacher training and taking education to nook and corner. Not only this formal education, they are talking about non-formal education. Okay, there is a government of India scheme. What is it? Karma Yogi, I think. Yes or no? Where nothing will be given. Just they have opened No monetary benefits. Just will be, they will put various skill development programs for various government sector employed persons. They will learn these programs and enhance their skills. It's not that if you do these programs, you will give promotion. No. First learn, increase your efficiency. Then automatically benefits will come to you. Like, okay, non-formal education, continuous education, all this education and continuation throughout the career, all these are there. Social research, Navic-based application, satellite meteorology, with respect to all the cyclones you see. These are anyway standard things which you can write. Satellite-based rescue, defense services, all these things, search and rescue operations, huge scope for communication satellites. Okay, so try to see these points. Distrust alert, fishermen also. Some fishermen went for fishing zones. Suddenly he got captured. What to do? South Asia satellite, which we already mentioned. You will not have Pakistan here, except Pakistan. All other countries are there in the South Asia satellite. Okay, mobile satellite services, fine. SATCOM, subunits, all these applications they have mentioned. So these are the few applications we have seen with respect to what? Remote sensing applications, then communication satellite applications. I hope you have written those keywords. That would be sufficient. Okay. Now we will do some main questions and close this so that we can take new topic. Please write these questions. First, I'll dictate the questions, answers you will see. See, before going to a full question, I want you to add these things with respect to these points. Emerging issues with respect to space tourism. Okay, some points I would like for you to focus on. What are the issues with respect to space tourism in Indian context? If you have seen this, we don't know the status of, unclear status of space tourism. No international law. You have outer space treaty, just I told before. It is talking about what? Astronauts. It is not talking about space tourists. Okay, still, what is the status of these citizens who are doing this space tourism? There is no treaty yet. Next, many national agencies are still not authorizing space travel with tourists. That is still unclear. So many national and international agencies or governments are not for it as of. Third aspect is, what about space insurance? Okay, if something fails, not only for them, it's about others also, common people who may be affected. No clarity on it. You will have the same trouble with respect to nuclear energy. You might have heard about a term called nuclear liability. That was the issue, because if we are taking Russian reactors in Kudankulam, heard about Kudankulam protests? Yes or no? So when, with respect to Kudankulam, if that reactor fails, things should happen, let's hope, but if anything happens, who is responsible? We have our own Indian agencies who are running it. NPCI, Nuclear Power Corporation of India, will run the reactor. But the reactor is supplied by Russia. If something fails, Russian company will tell on Indian NPCI. NPCI will tell on Russian manufacturer. So who is ultimate? Ultimately, people are the trouble which they have to face. Like that, issues are there. Government is saying and telling some things. Okay, it's good, but still it is unclear. Like nuclear liability issue, there is no clarity with respect to space insurance as of now. What are the challenges which we have? With respect to not only insurance, passenger liability, if something happens to the passenger, who should be made responsible? No clarity on it. Many health risks are associated with space flight because we are going at a very high speed, microgravity conditions, different exposures to pressure, temperature. So we don't know the long-term impact. There are some issues which are going. The scientists who are involved in the Russian space program, they got exposed to cancer. There are some reports, but nothing yet known. So things are still in a vague, uncertain aspects, which we don't know. Okay, so what about that health risks? Okay, radiation is very high beyond Earth. Earth is protected. Magnetic field is there, which protects solar radiations. Ozone layer is there. We are protected in many ways. Once we got exposed to other dimensions, how much real safeguards we are actually going to give? That is a difficult area which yet has to be answered. Because cheapest travel, I'll tell you one relation aspect with respect to transportation, rail, road, airways, water, inland waterways. Which is cheapest? Inland waterways. But why people are not opting for it? One is infrastructure, etc., etc. But there is one dimension, safety. There are many people who are not interested to step on the boat on the river. Water safety issues. That's a reality. Okay. So, if we really want to develop space tourism, we have to address this aspect also. Kundankulam is a safety issue. Why people got protesting? Because there is a gap, communication gap, which got established. People were not given enough confidence. Of course, there are controversies. Other outside funded NGOs are also involved, which are propelling this protest is also one dimension which was in the news. But anyway, people were not taken into confidence. That gap was there. Okay, so any sector, any emerging sector, once we have to develop that aspect also, we have to take into consideration. So these points we can add with respect to space tourism, privatization, space tourism, new themes emerging. So we have to look in those aspects. Okay, then you go for next question. Please write applications of space technology in agriculture. Please write this question. I think you can write on your own. Discuss the application. Just write this question. Discuss the applications of space technology for development of agriculture sector in India. Discuss the applications of space technology for agriculture sector in India. That is first question. Next question you write. Discuss various disasters. This anyway we have done. Okay. For this, I'll just conclude this. Look at this. There are many points with respect to it. I'm unable to mark it here, but I'll just tell with respect to agriculture, we can talk about agriculture land monitoring. The ways in which ISRO can be used. Just take this thing, agriculture land monitoring, crop area estimation, drought assessment, horticulture cropping system analysis, global crop program, not only in India, throughout the world. Okay. So shall I go slow? Just keywords. Okay. Agriculture land monitoring, crop area estimation, drought assessment, horticulture crops, fruits and vegetables are highly priced. Food inflation is there in India. So we have to plan accordingly. Cropping pattern, pest disease attack, detection and remedial measures, soil mapping and monitoring. Soil mapping and monitoring, command area development. Command area development means what? What is a command area? If irrigation project is there, how much of under it, how much of actual these water resources are reaching into whole agriculture crops around it. Command area under a project. Because nearer to the project, water may be available neatly through canals. But far, far away, things are not developed. So whole command area under a project has to be developed. ISRO can see how much areas are getting, how many areas are not getting the benefits. Like, okay, these images you are available in the net only. Anyway, we can get with respect to inventory management, crop assessment, data collection, field photos, all these things. There are applications, multiple levels. Scientific agriculture scientists can give advisories to farmers. Because agriculture scientists can't go to every crop. They developed an application. The farmer will click the photo of the leaves of the crop. He will send it to a database. That photo will be seen by an agriculture scientist. Advisory, use this pesticide. Do this method. Do that method. Your crop will be saved. Like it. Okay, so they are developing this. You can use UAVs also. That is the emerging area. Unmanned aerial vehicles for mapping agriculture crops and knowing details about it. Okay, UAVs are also can be used. Anyway, please note this puzzle application. Forecasting agriculture output using space, agrometry, and land observation. Puzzle is important. Okay, this has been developed by ISRO. Puzzle model. They have done various developments in it. So the estimations which they are telling. Many satellites of ISRO are being used for this satellite-based data. Risat, Cartosat, Kalpana, Insat 3D. All these are the ways in which ISRO can help in agriculture sector. Okay. Look at this. I'll share this thing with you. I'm giving a structure for you. Please make the answers like this. Then previously I have given a question with respect to what? Disaster management. Applications of ISRO for disaster management. Intro should be proper. India is prone to, just I'm discussing this question. India is prone to many natural disasters. Yes or no? Once we are starting a question, we have to give an orientation about it. Whether it is 10 marker or 12.5 marker, it is not big questions, big mark questions are not being asked. 15 marker, 20 marker questions, there should be a very good intro. But for 10 marker, you have to directly answer the question. Just giving a 1 or 2 lines or 1 para intro is enough. Okay, because once upon a time, 20 marker, 25 marker questions, introduction used to be big. Not required. Okay, because many points you have to cover. So coming to this, many natural disasters give a brief orientation, landslides, forest fires, earthquakes, droughts. We are prone to many type of disasters. Satellite data will provide various applications related to it. Okay, you will highlight it. You have a separate program called Disaster Management Support Program in ISRO. How it is helping, that we have to see. Okay, so they have developed a separate portal called MOSDAC for cyclones. Okay, they have developed this MOSDAC portal for cyclones. Everybody will write cyclone management, this management, that management. Once you mention MOSDAC, that will give an edge to you. All the things will be displayed in this MOSDAC, especially related to cyclone data. Okay, now coming back one each, we will see National Remote Sensing Center that will play a major role with respect to disasters. Okay, with respect to tsunami also you have INCOIS. Have you heard about INCOIS? It is also located in Hyderabad. Okay, all the data with respect to tsunami management, especially Marina Beach, heard about that? Maybe most of you might have not, might be just born when the tsunami struck. Yes or no? Chennai. Study about impact of tsunami in India, 2003, 2004. Okay, impact of tsunami in India. You know what is tsunami? Wave. Earthquake, if it occurs in ocean, it will create big waves. Not all earthquakes will create tsunami. Only vertical earthquakes will create tsunami. That's a separate. You have the topic in geography anyway. So NRSC, you have to mention. These are the keywords. The trick with respect to mains is you are not like robots. You know Chitti robot? Rajnikant? Yes or no? You are not robots. Okay, so you have to catch hold of these keywords. Just memorize, if not memorize, understand those keywords. Sentences will automatically come in the examination. If not automatically, you have to practice it before also. So for every topic, you have to remember at least 10-15 keywords. That ends the mains aspect of it. Okay. So NRSC, you have to close flood management, you have to close the Bhuvan portal. Okay, there is a separate Bhuvan portal. Everybody, even a common citizen can access this Bhuvan portal. A lot of data they are keeping with respect to flood management, indication maps. What are the real-time information is being given to all the multiple people. The problem with disaster is when a disaster strikes, nobody knows what to do. Clearly, lot of coordination is required. So everybody should know what is happening. Through ISRO, that will be known, whether it is Ministry of Home Affairs, whether it is District Collector, whether it is Fire Services, all people can know it at a single point of time. And coordination becomes very easy. A District Collector moved 20 lakhs people in a single day in Kerala. He got the United Nations Award for that. How he was able to do? For us, moving ourselves is a big issue. Okay, moving from room to classroom. Right, he moved 20 lakh people in a single day. How much of data he used? Okay, how much of planning he did? How many people are involved? Coordination is possible with the help of space technologies. Okay, so SPLED data, you can write this point in your own language. Coordination between various ministries involved, various departments involved, like that. Cyclones, you can track these cyclones, MOSDAC. updated on most that which will disseminate the information in a proper manner. Then forest fires. Forest fire, Indian Forest Fire Response and Awareness Assessment System for real-time monitoring of forest fires, landslides. Astros Act is being used for monitoring the disturbances with respect to landslides. With respect to Western Ghats and Himalayas, Himalayas are more prone to landslides than Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats also. So how we are monitoring that? What with respect to afforestation data, with respect to volume of water and all these things, how much of things are there moving like this? Earthquake monitoring, pre and post disaster management. You can't predict earthquake with satellites as of now. But at least pre and post disaster, what to do, how to do, all these things can be managed. Definitely, when disaster management question is asked in whatever may be the paper, you have to quote about National Disaster Management Authority. Okay, from where I have taken this answer directly from ISRO, obviously government sources. Okay, so like this you can write. So next question you see, write the next question. Discuss the applications of ISRO for rural development. Discuss the applications of ISRO for rural development. Please work out on it for 5 minutes. Applications of ISRO for rural development. I think that. Write this question. Don't stare at the screen. Nothing is there on the screen. Yes. So next question we'll be doing is applications of ISRO for rural development. Discuss the initiatives by ISRO for rural development. Please work out for 5 minutes. I think you should write the answer by this exposure. Yeah. You see some of the applications. See, this is not the only way to write, no doubt about it. This is my answer. This may not be the only way to write. You can always add points to it. Anyway, we'll see some aspects of it. With respect to rural development, whether I have written it here or not, you have to quote about a term called, I'll tell that, let me complete that. With respect to rural development, what are the problems you have in the background while writing any answer for 1 or half minute or 1 minute, you have to think about the structure of the question. Many students are directly attacking. Just like a sports team start, run means come on, run. Okay, directly, no, that is not a good way. Because we have to organize the points. What all ideas, what all keywords you remember. So if you prepare in keywords, obviously the structure would be good. Okay, what I have to write? After writing randomly, then you will add some of the points. In the structure itself, you have to design what is the best way to present. Because examiner will see your answer for 1 or 2 minutes. Yes, sir. You are writing in 7 minutes. He will look at your answer for 1 or 2 minutes on an average. 20 questions per will be there. 40 minutes he will correct, which is a very good time. If he gives 2 minutes per question also, it will take 40 minutes per question, per paper. Like that, he will correct 20 papers in a single day. 40 minutes also it will not come. He will finish it off in half an hour only. Because 10 hours, can you imagine for a person to work with? No. So your paper will be collected for less than 30 minutes. Imagine how you have to impress. Now the examiner is your girlfriend, boyfriend. You have to impress with your answers. Fortunately, UPSC is correcting well. I didn't qualify, but I am happy with the marks I got, frankly. Yes or no? Fact is fact. That trust is there on UPSC. Unlike other areas, they are giving good marks, whatever you deserve. Okay, so you have to impress. He has to go home and tell in the home, what an answer he has written. He or she. How does he know only he? Okay, kya link kiya, what an, that should be there. You read your own answers, you will feel the frustration. Forget about others. You write 10-15 answers in a week. Read your own answers yourself. Don't give it to a friend. First you read for yourself. You'll throw. Imagine on a single day, he's reading like 20 people papers he are reading. He will only give two, lele, two, same points. Because everybody is reading the same material available in the market. Nobody is reading newspaper regularly. Every day you have to collect information. Create some uniqueness for yourself. Everything is short term. Okay, same points. He'll use same marks. Okay, so coming to the structure, you can highlight, of course, remote sensing applications, you can write data, some blah, blah, blah. In any way you can write. Introduction is your skill, from where you have to take and put it. Application area key points, definitely when related to rural development, MGNREGR should be there. Yes or no? Monitoring, we are talking about not governance question. This is a S&T question. How space technology are useful for MGNREG? Monitoring MGNREG activities, geotagging that activities, irrigation projects, monitoring the progress of various irrigation, not only major, minor, even check dams, all this, where you have to put a check dam in a proper manner. Monitoring that, NRSC is doing that. With respect to satellite-based information, management plans of rural development, many programs are there. How to look at the progress of them, that is being done. With respect to water, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, heard about it? Yes or no? Monitoring, it will do irrigation, not only major, minor, micro level, watershed development, all those activities, organic farming activities, how to get the resources out of it, how to pull out the resources, what are the scarcities, what are the deficits, all these things can be managed. Krishi Sinchai Yojana is not organic. For organic, we have another program. Anyone? Paramparaga Krishi Vikas Yojana. All these government schemes you have to. I understand that writing these Hindi names is difficult, but you are going for which examination? All India level examination. So along with local schemes, you should have at least what is what. with us. That is in the syllabus anyway. You will read it in social justice also. Then crop area assessment, agriculture program, water resources, analyzing drought resources, just the keywords. Okay, issue about with respect to land utilization, land degradation, wasteland management, fisheries development. You can add that aspect also. Inland fisheries. What are inland fisheries? Marine fisheries are some things which we get in Chennai railway station, directly from the sea. Okay, but inland fisheries with respect to freshwater rivers, with respect to lakes, their development, huge scope is there for rural development, sericulture development, food processing development, inputs for development of this industrialization. There is a big gap in India with respect to rural development. Only few urban areas are being developed. So the facilities or the information or the resources available for urban areas should be given to rural areas. So in that manner, we have to look at various applications. Rural health, you can write about telemedicine, rural development application with respect to planning. Not only this, there can be something you can add about other dimensions. That was I was referring to. You have to add village resource centers. Village resource centers are being developed by ISRO for governance applications, VRCs, for day-to-day communication, for giving services to the village, rural areas, and directly VRCs for telemedicine, tele-education, program awareness generation on various programs. VRCs will play a huge role. So ISRO is establishing these VRCs with the help of various NGOs and organizations, even government funded and NGOs also. So in any question with respect to rural development, you have to mention what? VRCs, village resource. So basically you have to talk about health, education, agriculture, industrialization, services, governance. Okay, with respect to maintenance, with respect to knowing the progress, monitoring, disaster management, all these 7-8 dimensions you have to put. That's it. Okay, that ends the question. Nothing more. If you write PhD in it also, he will give only 5-6 marks. We have to meet the demand. Okay, so like that. So we can look at other question also. This also directly we have done this in a way. Application of space technologies with regard to environment and climate change. I'm just highlighting, write this thing. You can write various applications, monitoring with respect to impact of climate change, impact on Indian mangroves, impact on Indian coral reefs, impact on environmental conditions, air pollution levels. Okay, stubble burning, how much of stubble, heard about stubble burning? Punjab, and how much of air pollution is there? What is the quality of water in rivers? All this for environmental applications also, ISRO has direct. Okay, so in this manner, we can develop various applications. Okay, that's it. Fine. Now, we'll take, maybe time may not be sufficient for a new topic. We'll take a small topic. We'll see. Discuss the, we'll write a point. Okay? Discuss the, this closes space we are closing. We'll go for other topics one by one. But today we'll do other small issues, which anyway we have to do later also. With respect to, yeah, let us take one emerging technology, AI we will discuss the applications of artificial intelligence. Discuss the applications of artificial intelligence in Indian context. Okay, more like application oriented question. Right, give a 1 minute for yourself. Sir, what do we know about AI? I can tell anyway. I'm just asking you to give 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah. See, when we are talking about artificial intelligence, very small because we are not going into details or technicalities of it. As I said, that is not required for this. Artificial intelligence, as the name says, our human brain is working on networks of what? Neurons. Have you heard about these neurons? Yes or no? How we are able to remember, how we are able to process information because of the connections established by these neurons present in the brain. So every synapse, or it will have, look at the structure of neuron, you might have looked at in your schools. Okay, so that is the information processor for us. In order to see if a person is saying something, that information will be stored as a snap point. One connection will be established in the neural, our neurons network. In order to replicate, like this language, how a child will learn a language. In the early stages, small words will be taught, but later he will just observe and learn. So he is learning on his own. Yes or no? मैंने हिंदी सीखा सिर्फ डिज्नी और देख के. I had understood Hindi language just by watching 1 hour of Disney hour cartoon in the childhood. We learn on our own. This processing is there with respect to human brain's neural networks. In order to recreate that, we are going to have softwares or whatever. They are trying to build artificial neural networks. When I am saying artificial neural networks, don't think that there will be a neuron just like human neuron and they are going to replicate. No. This language, the way in which our neurons are built, that networks, they are trying to build it through software. So when I am saying intelligence, suppose, let us this software. What is the difference between software and artificial intelligence? That difference you have to. What is a software program? If someone enters the room, automatically light should on. If a teacher is coming onto the desk, automatically mic should be on. Is it artificial intelligence? No. This can be done by just a software. There will be a sensor, which if someone comes, light will be obstructed, sensor signal will go, automatically mic will be on. This is not AI. If someone comes, automatically light is off, no AI. We have written the program, get the signal, turn the light. Software is there. What is AI means? Depending on traffic is there. Traffic people, how they will set automatic traffic lights. 2-minute counter, 3-minute counter, red light, green light. So throughout the day, red to green, timer is there. Automatically it will be on and off. That is program. Microcontroller, software, whatever. Now you see, AI means, artificial intelligence means, it will see the traffic density on the road. Morning, there is no traffic. Automatically, green light will be more. Afternoon, depending on the traffic density. How it is looking at the traffic density? Images. It is taking a photo, looking at the images, real-time processing. If traffic density is more in this particular road, give more green light to it. Not only that, a red light, you are going from one junction to other junction. Red light will be here. You went to the next junction. Again, red light there. What is this nonsense? Will the traffic move? No, AI will process. What timings I have to locate in the whole city so that minimum obstruction is provided, maximum traffic will be eased. You have to take decisions in real-time manner. If a traffic constable is there, he will take the decision accordingly. But every time the traffic controller, the person can't do it whole day. Lot of processing is required. Not only at that junction, he has to look at other junctions also. So intelligent traffic management. Who will come into picture? AI. Like human beings, we are taking decisions. We are expecting the software to take decisions depending on the inputs it is getting. So it is like learning by itself. Okay, that Amazon, what is that? Alexa. It is AI based. Different people will use different tone. On, off. Different people will use different tones, but it will recognize. If you scold Alexa, hey, stupid fellow, it will say, oh, sorry, don't scold me. Okay, then next time it will this, you are crossing the limit, something it will say. Okay, if not crossing the limit, it will tell something else. It is learning on its own. Okay, that is artificial intelligence. Now the problem is why we are discussing this. Nobody will ask to code artificial intelligence program for you in the exam. Yes or no? A new technology is coming. Issues with the technology we have to see. If artificial intelligence comes, will there be job loss? That is the debate which we have to address. Because there is a software industry. Let's take software industry. Because this apprehension is more in software industry, it can be any other industry also. In the software industry, there is a friend of mine who is designing real-time tender website for government of Goa. Suppose for Goa government, there are a bunch of 3 to 4 people. They have to design a website for issuing of online tenders. You know, tender for many projects, government will have a lot of projects. Online tender, transparency, who is quoting how much? Online tendering, real-time tendering should happen. For that, they developed in Infosys or some company, they developed that project. 3 months time they took. Okay, successful, celebrated success. Next project came from same online tendering process from Maharashtra. They have to do the same things. Of course, requirements will change. Maharashtra will have symbols, logos, everything will change. And requirement for this also will change. But is it the same coding, same basics, same people? 3 months time they have. Now suppose AI comes. Artificial intelligence comes. You will train the software to take the inputs and design the website on its own for all governments. It will do it in few days. What these 4 people will do? Meditation. Yes or no? So it can create, that's the apprehension. Is AI suitable in Indian context where already there is a issue with respect to India called jobless growth? Have you heard about this? Already we are facing this problem. Jobless growth indicates means actually after 1991, what happened? We have opened up liberalization, privatization, all these things. New technology came in the country. They are focusing on more mechanization, automation. Big companies. I worked in a Japan MNC here, Nashik. There, it is employing 1,000 people per shift. In that 1,000 people, only 80% of the people are contract, small jobs. Get the resin. It's a capacitor manufacturing plant. Per a single day, it is manufacturing minimum capacity, 1.5 lakh capacitors it will produce in a single day. That is minimum. You have capacitor in all these fans. You have capacitor in automobiles. You have capacitors in trains, all sizes. So that plant is producing 1.5 lakh capacitors per single day. But how many people are working? Only 1,000. That to 80% of the 1,000 is part-time, small, clean that table. Get resin to the machine. Only 20 people are actually employed. Permanent employees for the company. All are running. Who are these 20% people who are running the machines? If you go to the shop floor, manufacturing plant, all are big machines. Imported from South Korea, Germany, Japan. Automation. Okay. So the thing is, when we are calling about jobless growth, growth is there in the country. 10% growth, 11% growth. GDP is growing. You know GDP, gross domestic product, number of goods and produce produced in the country. That is increasing in the country from the last few decades, 2 to 3 decades. But jobs, similar number of jobs are not filled. Already we have problem of jobless growth. Then how far this artificial intelligence, when it learns on its own, when the need for coding the same thing reduces, not only with respect to software industry, many areas, many repetitive jobs are there. Yes or no? Artificial intelligence can be integrated with robotics. Your chitti is AI based robot. What if we automate? ticket collecting jobs, conductor jobs, automate that robot will come, ask the ticket, punch the ticket, give it to you. Ho gaya kaam. AI plus robotics, when it comes into picture, will it create more job losses? That is the debate which we have to address. So for this also, Niti Aayog has given a report. Basically, we have to stick to government or government-based things. Niti Aayog has highlighted in various ways where AI can come into picture in India. So it is giving a guideline with respect to whose context? Indian context. How AI has to be used in India. It is saying that use it in healthcare. Why? Because see, with the help of AI, artificial intelligence, precision will come into picture. Precisely things can be done. Yes or no? With respect to, let us say, cancer, with respect to diabetes. Cancer images will be there, reports will be there. In initial stages, people may not detect the cancer. They may not have that much efficiency. Now, if you train a AI, not only robot, artificial intelligence software, you feed these scan images. It will predict the cancer at a very early stage. Can humans do it? No. When you detect the cancer probability at a very early stage, can you at least avoid it or manage it in an easier manner? Yes. Primary health center level, you can detect many things. Diabetes can be detected at an early stage. Cancers can be detected at an early stage. Non-communicable diseases can be detected at an early stage. Will it reduce disease burden of the country, of the individual, of the whole nation? Yes. So the basic logic is use artificial intelligence to increase efficiency, to give better results, and to address a problem which is not solved now. That is the logic. You can't do this in a large scale with humans. This is aiding us. This is solving a problem. This is providing a solution. So don't go against AI. Use AI in a manner which will benefit us. Super specialties are less. Okay, AI will be clubbed with robotic arm, telemedicine. Everything the doctor may not do, the arm will scan, will decide how to cut. Specialized surgeries. Yes or no? Possible? Very fine arms. See, in my childhood, I got appendicitis operation. Appendicitis operation, there is appendix, which if waste goes into it, it can burst. So before that, they will do surgery and remove it. That fellow, I was this much kid, took me on the surgery table. Of course, anesthesia will be there. He has cut this much big cut they have done on my stomach. That mark will be there even today. Now, laser, with respect to laser laparoscopic technology, you will not, if a person has been done, of course, I'm not a doctor, there are many variations in it. If normal surgery you have to do, small hole they will keep on the stomach. People will not know that there is a surgery done. No complications. Technology is improving. In the next stage, with respect to open heart surgery, why you have to break the whole thing and open it and cut it? We don't have the capabilities. Humanity has limitations. Now you imagine in this place a robotic arm driven by AI. It will send small 2 pipes, it will send. It will control, do the inside stitch with a very high precision. Doctor will be seeing it. Small cuts also can be done and stitched easily. Possible or not? Yes. AI driven. You can use AI in education sector. When a person or a teacher is delivering, it's not that everyone present in the classroom will understand everything. Is it so? Always, you may be thinking about your lunch. You may be thinking some are sleeping. Some may feel that already I know this. So they will not put some interest. Some people will not know the basics of it. Different levels of reception will be there. Yes or no? So is it possible to attain the same level of education to all the people in the classroom? Difficult. AI will come into picture. They will know the status of your, especially in school level. Maths and physics means gone, many children, especially in government schools. Teacher can't fill the gap. Who will fill the gap? AI will fill the gap. Already you have ASR report, ASR, Pratham, yes or no? Annual status of education report, where it says that especially in government schools, second class, third class books can't be read by even sixth class or seventh class people are unable to read third class books. Yes or no? You are all graduates. Difficulty in reading NCERT. Yes or no? Don't take it in that way. But possible, imagine you are all reading NCERT books. You have to read for UPSC. Imagine you are a fourth year completed student, means degree, graduate, 10th class, 11th class fellow will come into the classroom with a chetty. He looks at that his book you are reading. He will laugh. What is this book? He will go. Yes or no? 10th class student, if he reads 6th class, 7th class book or a 5th class book, for a 5th class guy, it is something. The same thing is happening. Huh? We are unable to read NCERTs properly. Questions are coming directly from NCERT. At least for prelims aspect, some mains aspect. Okay. So education with respect to increasing the efficiency of education delivery, AI tools to assess each student, to know about the developmental stage, positive, negative, weak areas, to monitor them, we can use AI. With respect to mobility, there is a big issue with respect to mobility in India. Logistic costs are very high in India. Intelligent traffic managements can be created. What is the best way to get a good? Supply chain management can be done in a long manner. Pipeline management. Oh, you know what is pipelines? Air, gas, pipelines. What is the best way to deliver all these things with respect to sourcing or predicting many things? Predictive analysis can be done with respect to AI. How the markets, how the prices will vary in the market, depending on that what crop to grow. All this requires not only in stock market. You have to use it in agriculture. You have to use it in weather. You have to use it with respect to applications of impact of COVID vaccine. Even AI is also useful with respect to vaccine developments also in health. Yes or no? Lot of analysis is to be done to develop a vaccine. AI will come into picture. Okay. Not only that, with respect to AI, artificial intelligence has a big role in regard to maintenance in industry. Okay. You know, Volvo bus, big bus will be there. High amount, different training is required to run Volvo bus. What is the specialty of Volvo bus? Government bus, I don't know here. Government buses, RTC or buses, daily city buses they will break down in between the road. Going, whole traffic will be done. Because the driver, it's not about, don't blame the driver. When the machine will break, nobody has idea. But if in AI comes into picture, like it is done in Volvo to an extent, it is going to tell the driver in advance, hey, useless fellow, you look at this machine heat variables are increasing unnecessarily. Take corrective action before the machine breaks down. That's the reason he will do immediate maintenance if required. He will not accelerate when there's a problem with the engine in that dimension. Breakdowns will be avoided. Not only in bus, big industries they use. You see this Ambani plant in Jamnagar, so much big, it will be like a mini town. So how many controls are there? How to avoid breakdown? Predictive maintenance. Not only that, in agriculture itself, many things. Micro irrigation. What is micro irrigation? Like every person who is unique in this classroom, every tree is also unique. Yes, sir. Its fertilizer requirement is unique. Its insecticide requirement is unique. Its water requirement is unique. Can we do it using normal? Can a farmer do it on his own? No. With experience, he may know. Using AI, they will scan, they will deliver the exact amount of water required, exact amount of pesticide required for each plant. May not be possible in rice crop, but possible with respect to mango tree, horticulture, vegetables. Yes or like. Okay. So basically, to address repetitive jobs, to address the need for precision, to give more efficiency, which will come into picture? artificial intelligence. All these applications, job losses are not there. We are increasing the efficiency. Okay, so what is AI? Will AI, now AI can be, obviously it can be integrated with artificial intelligence, will be integrated with robotics, driverless cars will come. Is it suitable for India? That's the reason I didn't tell. May not be. Driverless cars, we may not be ready. Okay, but AI can help the driver to avoid accidents. That's all. Definitely it can. Okay, it will give image search. It will alert the driver when and when required. When speed is high, it will alert. When he is going in wrong direction, it will alert. When it is about to collide, it will alert. Automatic brakes can be there. Automatic diversions can be there. Many things can be done. We have this anti-collision system with respect to railways. Yes or no? When two tracks, when two railway engines are coming close, automatically systems will be on. Automatically brakes will be applied on both the wagons. Okay, like that. That is just a software, but AI can be taken in that dimension also. Okay, so these are the various applications. Robotics in regard with cloud computing also it can work, because lot of data, huge data is required with respect to in recent times. Data is the new oil, you might have heard. Biggest companies in the world are data-oriented companies. Facebook, Google. It's not software, it's not something product, they are data-oriented. Google will know, see how much of things they are doing, big data. Of course, all these are interrelated. If you search a flight, Hyderabad to Delhi, Chennai to Delhi flight, you have searched in your Google. You experiment. You see for 1 week, you will understand what is happening. You search it for a flight, or you search it for some product. Let us say distillery water or mattresses you search of a company, or just mattresses you search. It will take that data. It will understand it. Automatically that ad will be blinked on your right side. Whether it is Facebook, whether it is Google. I searched for a flight, Hyderabad to Delhi. Spiced ad came from 1 week. I traveled and came back also. So there is no privacy. When I am coming and seeing you, threat to privacy, but all the data belonging to you is already taken. Google is providing free service to you. You can search anything. Yes or no? If the Google charges for every search you have to pay, if Google says, is it a big problem for you? Yes or no? Your UPSC preparation, one of the faculty is Google for you. Yes or no? But why Google is not telling that? Is it doing social service? No, it's not that Google has to pay you. Sorry, it's not that you have to pay Google. Google has to pay you actually in reality. Without your permission, it is taking your data and selling it to the commercial companies and getting ads. If Google is a free service, Google will not be the richest company in the world. It is already in the top 10. Okay, so this data, its background, what is happening in the future, what will happen? AI will happen. Okay, they are using big technologies to monitor us, to influence us. AI has a role, either positively or negatively. It depends on how you use the technology. Suppose you want to create innovation ecosystem in the country. Suppose you want to mobilize youth. We are in social issues, you will see an issue there. In India, as of now, for the next coming 30 or 40 years, young population will be having high percentage. What is it called? Demographic dividend. If this youth is not only youth, working age population, after 30-40 years, majority will be in old stage. Okay, so this AI, in fact, AI has that application. When I'm saying AI will also be useful in assisting elderly, disabled. Okay, that is also area which we have to focus upon. Anyway, come back to this thing. So, how to train this youth with a purpose? Youth has many problems. They are wasting a lot of time on many unnecessary things. Everything is a part of life. Party is a part of life. Everything is part of life, but everything should be balanced. One day you will read 10 hours. Next 10 days you will not read. There's a problem for everyone. You are not unique. In our own way, it is affecting. Suppose AI has to be used for youth. You know what can be done? China already is doing it. In TikTok videos, China's TikTok, you will not have any time pass. In China's TikTok videos, it will be thrown, it will be bombarded for the youth, depending on the character of the youth, what hard work other youth are doing, what innovations other person is doing. All the small videos will be bombarded for the youth. Okay, how people are developing, not only money, it is various other ways. Positivity, hard work, sincerity, values, all these examples will be bombarded through TikTok videos. Whereas the same TikTok in other countries, prank videos. How I did this prank, how I wasted my money, what are the things, how I laughed. These videos will be bombarded, diverting the youth. Yes or no? What you see, that you become. Yes or no? That is general one way of influencing the people. So this has a very big role in the future, both in positive and negative. You don't know what are happening, nothing. We are being influenced in many unimaginable ways. Okay, so know it. It's not about, we have to know what are the things. That is the purpose of these applications. So in that manner, we can agriculture, whole syllabus you see. In whole syllabus, agriculture, insurance, industry, food processing, with respect to health, education, social service, NGO management, migration management, climate pattern recognition, drought advisory at local level, predictive maintenance, always we can use this technology, artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is the topic. Shall we take one more hour? Shall we complete nuclear? Follow, yes or no? Should I use AI or what? Yes or no? How many wants nuclear to be done today? Please raise your hand. How many does not want nuclear energy class? Does not want. Majority is undecided. So when majority is undecided, put the heading nuclear energy. I gave a good option. You are the one who didn't utilize it. Okay. Put the heading nuclear energy. In that manner only you have to be taught. When I asked, nobody responded. Wait, first let me put the slide. We have by, no option is gone. Just give me 2 minutes. Bolo. Now it is done. Presentation is not done. Okay. Then what is the problem? Why? Today. 2:30 until 1:30 I can take. I was kidding. We'll stop it. Nuclear energy is done. We'll continue nuclear energy and defense tomorrow. Why you are responding when I asked no class? Nobody was raising hand. Okay. So that's the punishment. In punishment, I am teaching. Finish off nuclear and defense. Any homework I have given? Application job. Why? E-vehicle. Right? To look at the topic, rest of things I think we have done. Look at electrical vehicles topic and we'll finish it off. Okay. Bye bye.